Page 4, picnic hop. 4/4 time, 1 flat, where it seemed to be in the key of F major. All the B's are flatted, and there's some accidentals in there. I'm going to take it one hand at a time to get the rhythm and the fingering and all that. Starting with the right hand, we'll have a pickup note. So we're coming in on the and of 4. 4 and. So it's and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 1. Rest. And at the end of the line there, the last note on measure 3, that is 3 ledger lines below the staff. 1 ledger line is here, 2 is here, 3 is here. So that's an F. So you got to come down here, just lift up and down. And that's tied to the half note in the next measure. And then during the rest, you come back up. Then going into measure 6, come up. A flat, 1, leave the thumb on the D. Then come down, and that's it. Now you can, if you want to, for measure 6, for that quarter note F, you can play that with 4th finger again if you want. That way you're a little closer to this 3rd finger. See, when I learn a piece of music, I play it all connected, all legato first, and that helps me figure out a fingering. Because usually if the fingering will work legato, it'll work whatever. It's just a style of fingering, and there's different styles of fingering, but this is the one that I use. So I'll probably use 4th finger on that quarter F. And then I can come down. And I don't have to use 3rd finger. I can use 2nd. There's no reason you have to use 3rd finger on that. Measure 7, you rest. Measure 8, you rest. Oh, that's good. Measure 9. 1 and 2 and 3. So we're coming on the and of 1, and then again on 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then cross over. Remember the B flat because it's in the key signature. Then thumb under for the A. Reach up. So during the rest, you come up. They want 2. Remember the rule for accidentals. It applies from that point on for the rest of the measure. So all of those E's in that measure are flat. Get the idea? Go over to page 5. Measure 18 in the second line. The pickup to it is an F. And a C flat is a B on a piano. Remember, a flat goes down 1 note, white or black. Well, a C flat. Okay. If you're wondering why they do a C flat instead of a B natural, it has to do with a harmony. You have a B flat in the left hand. It has to do with the harmony. It has to be a C flat to be harmonically correct. Just play a C flat and don't bother me. It's just here and here. Now look out on measure 19 and 20 for the rhythm. On measure 18, it's fairly straightforward. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But then going on, during the rest, you come down. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So that's different, so watch out. Then measure 21, you come up here, you got rest, you got time. 1 and 2 and 3 and. See, the rhythm in measure 21 is the same as the rhythm in measure 19, except you have a half note rather than a quarter note, quarter rest. But the 8th note thing is the same rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then going on, crossover. You've had this kind of pattern before, an octave lower. We're up here. And then crossover, you can do a 3-2. During the rest, you come back up. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then going on, then 4. So 4. 1, 2, 3. And then the last one at the end is an A natural and an F. And I'll come back to that, those 3 lines in a minute. Just, yeah. Left hand, it's just quarter notes. have some sanity in the left hand, that helps. So measure 4 is, and then crunch up here. We're up here, and then for measure 7, you reach down, it's an octave. Now measure 8, it's 4 instead of 3, you come up, because we got a B natural. And then here 3, and that note on measure 10, 2 ledger lines below the staff, 1 ledger line is an E, 2 is a C, and that's below it, so it's a B, except you have a B flat in the key signature. So it's a B flat. Well, fine, and then you come back up, then 2, 1 and 2 and. Now, carefully, this is measure 13. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Just lift up on 2. And then going on, measure 16. 3. There's different styles of fingering here, and the fingering in the book is okay if that's what you want to use. On measure 17, the 3-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. I just don't like using the thumb that much. So another fingering can do if your hands are big enough, and sometimes you have to do it anyway, so think about it, is on measure 16, it's okay, same. But then when you go, instead of 3rd finger, use 4th finger. And then reach up on 2nd. And I don't have to cross over. So it's here. Keep in mind this is a fast piece. And so you might think about that. The problem is you got that stretch. Well, sometimes we do have these stretches we have to deal with. And if you have real little hands, that doesn't work. You can't do that. So you just will use the fingering in the book. However, you can still adjust it just a little bit, even if you put 3rd finger on that B flat, by using 3rd finger again. 3-2. You don't have to use the thumb again because your next note is a B flat. You can reach down and get that, I hope. So you decide on the fingering you want to use. I think for the purpose of this video, I'll go ahead and use 3-2 for the E flat F. Last line, they want a 2 on the E flat, so it's 1 and 2 and then a thumb. And then a thumb again. I don't know about that. I would just, you're going to lift up, but again, I like to play it legato. So I think I'm going to do a 2-3, and then cross the thumb under. And then the last chord is an F and an E flat. You can finger it this way. If you have big fat fingers and all, then you got to finger it that way. That's a bit of a stretch. But if you have big fat fingers, you probably have large hands. You can handle it. I don't know. Put the hands together slowly. 1. Let's go down to measure 9, where you're here. 1 and 2. See, the 8th note is in between. It's 1 and 2. So forth. Let's go over to measure 19. Well, start with measure 18. Let's get into it. You're here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1, 2 and 1 and 2. E flat comes with the F on measure 27. 1 and 2, and get off of this, it's just an 8th note. 1 and 2 and then the left hand gets it. And then at the end. Once you kind of got a handle on that, then go back and get rid of any hesitations you may have. You can go nice and slow, even though this is a fast piece. You can go nice and slow. We'll speed it up later. Then we can add in the articulation. Well, you got staccatos and phrasing and whatnot. Just lift up between each of these slurs. And the left hand, it's got LH legato. That means left hand legato with connect it all. Just play the left hand as connected as you can except for the rests. So this staccato. Now that's not staccato there. So that is in measure 6. That is staccato. Staccato. So this is connected and this is short. Now you have an accent there, staccato, and staccato here. So again, at measure 9. And that's not staccato. Now you get staccato and accents in the left hand. See the second F on those measures comes with the C. You see how it lines up with the C in the top of her staff? Right there. Well, so forth. Go through and put in the staccatos and the accents and all that. You can do that, I hope. When you get to the bottom, those 3 lines across those, that's a tremolo indication. It means you go this real quick. Between these hands and these, you just mirror the hands here. Sounds terrible, but when you add the pedal to it, it smooths it out. I suggest you do it rhythmically, depending on how fast you can do that. If you can do, well, if I do 8th notes, it's that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I can do 16th notes of 1 and a 2 and a. That's close enough. If you can do 32nd notes, that's twice as fast. I can't do 32nd notes, so I think I'm going to do 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a. Keep in mind this is a fast piece, so it depends on when I speed it up. The point is, when you do the tremolo, do it rhythmically. Now, that's my suggestion. I mean, some people just tremolo. They just let it go. That's what you want to do? All right, go for it. But I encourage you, at least for a while, at least initially, to start, do it rhythmically. If you want to change it later, fine. Then I add the dynamics. That goes to the right hand. Keep this left hand. This is just a pulsating left hand. Just keep it. It's like the drums or the bass, a string bass just doing its thing. We want to hear the right hand. Whatever you think moderately loud is. Not loud, just sort of loud. You're not going to stay right at that. You're going to get a little louder and a little softer. As you got to get to know it well enough that you can feel it, and then you'll get a little louder. You're just in the area of the moderately loud range. When you get down to measure 9, they give you another MF. Well, you were MF to begin with. Well, not really, because you could have altered it. And this left hand's going to be softer than that anyway. That's more like an MP. So the accents are a little louder, but you're right in there. Now measure 12, they want you to crescendo a little bit. Now you're up to loud. The left hand can come up a little bit, it's got to stay down. So forth, and then when you get to measure 16, you come back down a little bit. Measure 19, now it's moderately soft. Left hand's got to be soft. Then go back up to moderately loud for measure 21, because there's a crescendo in measure 20. And that's the right hand. The left hand's got to stay under. at the end, measure 27, you're loud. Lift up, then once you thumb again, well, you're lifting up, so it's okay. And then go back down. Soft. And then this is soft. It's like, then once you have that, we can put in the swing. They want you to swing the eighth notes. So actually swing the counting. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and none. And you feel it that way. But when I learn it straight eighth notes, and then I add this in it. And then you can start thinking about the speed. Well, it has to be accurate. And have fun with it. Don't think, okay, I got to play it that fast. No, that's a suggestion. You play it your fast. Grooving. Well, okay, be grooving, whatever it is. I haven't looked up 152 to know how fast that goes, but it's fairly fast. It would be like that for me. You have to be careful on when you start swinging eighth notes. There's a certain speed you don't go beyond. Otherwise, the short notes don't work out very well. Because it's like, it's too fast because the short notes are too short. And also, you don't do it in this piece, but if you were to slow it down, then you'd probably even out the eighth notes a little bit because the swinging doesn't work at a real slow speed. But as long as you stay where a nice tempo for that and you can swing it okay, go. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I will swing the eighth notes though. So I'll give us 4 counts or 4.5 counts or whatever it is. We come in on the end of 4. Now let's try it very slowly together. We're not performing it here. We're just checking notes and rhythms. I'm not going to show the pedal because you're only putting it down on that one chord. So you can do that if you want. 1 and 2 and ready and go.